The library at midnight holds a different kind of silence than the library during the day. It's not the hushed quiet of studying students or the careful whisper of turning pages. It's the silence of a place that has exhaled all its breath and settled into itself, heavy with the weight of words that live between book covers and the dreams of people who will never return to claim them. I was 21 then, though I felt older some nights and impossibly young on others. That particular night, I felt both. The fluorescent lights hummed above me with that persistent electric buzz that makes you forget what real silence sounds like. I had been there for hours, surrounded by towers of books I'd pulled from the stacks for a paper on post-war American literature that I couldn't seem to start. The words kept slipping away from me, like trying to hold water in cupped palms. My legs had gone stiff from sitting cross-legged on the floor between the shelves, and when I shifted to reach for another volume, my elbow knocked into a stack beside me. The books tumbled with that particular sound that books make when they fall. Not quite a thud, more like a series of sighs. One of them, a worn copy of Baldwin Giovanni's Room, skidded across the polished floor and came to rest near the circulation desk. I should have been more careful. I should have been quieter. But exhaustion makes you clumsy, and I had been running on coffee and determination for longer than was wise. I pushed myself up from the floor, my knees protesting, and walked over to retrieve the book. The cover was soft with age, the spine cracked in places where other hands had held it. Other eyes had read the words inside. I bent down to pick it up, and that's when I saw the shoes first. Black leather, polished but not new. The kind of shoes that suggest intention, care, someone who understands that details matter. I followed the line of dark trousers up to where they disappeared behind the circulation desk, and then I straightened, the book still in my hands, and looked up. Professor Dorian Hale stood there, watching me. He was supposed to be gone by then. The building was supposed to be empty except for me and the security guard who made his rounds every hour like clockwork. But there he was, standing perfectly still behind the desk, as if he had materialized from the shadows between the stacks. His hair was slightly mussed, unusual for him, and his tie had been loosened. His jacket hung over the back of a chair, and I could see the faint outline of his shoulders beneath his white shirt. For a moment, neither of us moved. The book felt impossibly heavy in my hands, though it couldn't have weighed more than a few ounces. I became aware of everything at once. The way the overhead light cast shadows under his eyes, making them appear deeper than they were in the bright glare of the classroom. The way his fingers rested on the edge of the desk, long and careful. The way he was looking at me, not with the distant politeness he wore during lectures, but with something else entirely, something that made my chest tighten. I had been in his Victorian literature course for 3 months by then, sitting in the back row where I could observe without being observed, where I could listen to his voice dissect the intricacies of Dickens and Hardy without having to meet his eyes directly. He was known on campus for his brilliance, for his impossibly high standards, for the way he could make even the most confident students question everything they thought they knew about literature. I had heard rumors about him, that he had turned down offers from prestigious universities to stay here, that he wrote poetry but never published it, that he had never been seen with anyone, man or woman, at faculty events. I had told myself that the way I watched him during lectures was purely academic, that the attention I paid to the cadence of his voice, the way his hands moved when he spoke, the rare moments.
Subscribe for part 2.